7:34. Good morning. Great to have you here. Rich Lowry, the editor of the National Review, is going to be here at 8:30 this morning to break down Trump, Zelensky, and where this all goes from here. So do not miss our buddy Rich Lowry from the National Review coming up in 1 hour on 95.7 FM. So you may have seen this story from Fox 4 over the weekend. Headlined, FIFA concerned over Chiefs revenue dispute due to World Cup. It says here, sources have confirmed to Fox 4 that FIFA has expressed concern with a lack of progress on the World Cup efforts in Kansas City. One issue is concert revenue losses the Chiefs face due to construction needed to prepare the stadium for international soccer in the summer of 26. The Chiefs are worried about their financial impact. Now, this is a story we told you about 2 weeks ago. We had it here first on KCMO. And I told you, and I tweeted about this, or I guess I X'd about this at Pete Mundo. You can find it there. We talked about it here on the show. You can find it on the podcast. I've got the receipts. All right. So you can see that we had this. And I'm not knocking Fox 4. I'm just sharing with you that this information was shared first on KCMO. That the Chiefs were supposed to start construction on Arrowhead Stadium to remove some seats in preparation for the World Cup the week after the AFC Championship game. That construction was not happening. Why was it not happening? Because the Chiefs decided that they needed $10 million to make it happen. And what they said was, well, suddenly we're going to lose a lot of money from like concerts and other events and things. So they went to KC 2026, that's like the made-up organization that's running the World Cup here in this town for next summer. And they said, yeah, before we do anything at Arrowhead, we need $10 million. And basically, KC 2026 told them to pound sand. So then the Chiefs said, fine. All right, well, we're not doing any construction. We're not moving. We're not starting anything till we get our money. Well, what happened? I can confirm that construction at Arrowhead did start late last week. How did this get resolved? It got resolved by the city of Kansas City, Quentin Lucas, who is on this KC 2026 board, basically guaranteeing the Chiefs the $10 million they want in exchange for another seat on the executive board that oversees the World Cup operations in Kansas City. Now, this is not your taxpayer money. Let's be very clear. This is money that this World Cup group has to fundraise for by next summer. They're hitting up all the rich and famous people and wealthy people around town and, frankly, probably around the country to try to basically put this show on of international soccer next summer. So that's what this is all about. And the mayor, for some reason, I can't quite figure out why in talking to some people, but he wanted an extra seat on the executive board for KC 2026. He's on there. Clark Hunt's on there. Cliff Illig is on there. And you've got, I would say, give or take, probably 15 people. You have some members at large, Mike Kelly, Johnson County Chairman, Angie Long, current co-owner, Joe Reardon, Chamber of Commerce President, Melissa Robinson, 3rd District Councilwoman, Frank White is on here as well. Dina Sykes, State Senator in Kansas, is on this as well. So basically, according to my sources, the mayor said, all right, fine, Chiefs, we'll give you the $10 million you insist you need. And in exchange, I would like an extra seat on this KC 2026 board. And the Chiefs said, okay, all right, we'll start our construction now. Now, this is all just obviously the Chiefs looking to make an extra buck. That's all this is. I mean, the Chiefs agreed to obviously have Arrowhead Stadium host these games. And it's not like it was suddenly some new information that, wait, we're going to lose money, maybe, from concerts and things like that. Well, yeah, that's true. But how much money are you going to make, by the way, hosting these games? I would ask that question as well. And if you hear anything that suggests, well, the Chiefs are doing this because they need the money for the renovations, that's not true. It's not. How this works is the state budgeted $50 million last year for renovations to Arrowhead for the World Cup. So that money, yes, is being paid by Missouri taxpayers. That was in the budget last year, about $50 million. It's going to cost about $40 is what they're expected to end up needing for all the renovations to Arrowhead. But that is being covered by the state. So that has nothing to do with this extra $10 million the Chiefs claim they need to start construction. What they do is, they do construction, they share the receipts with the Jackson County Sports Authority, and then from there they get reimbursed, just like you would at your office, right? You show the receipts, you get the reimbursement. That's how it goes. But there was a phone call with this KC 2026 group in the last couple of weeks, and basically everybody is already infighting. All these power players, the politicians, the donor class, the people at the very top who are putting on this show are already infighting with about, 16, 17 months to go until the World Cup comes here to Kansas City. I said, I guess it was, when all this happened, I'm like, man, it's kind of cool. But was anybody in Kansas City really clamoring for World Cup games here? Like, it'll be cool. I may try to go to a game or two. I don't really know how it works. I've never been part of a World Cup. But I don't think it's anything that the average Kansas City was like, man, I got to have this. I've got to have the World Cup here. I need this. Even you as a soccer fan, John, were you like, I got to have this, man. We need this. No ifs, ands, or buts.
No, my allegiance is to certain leagues and things like that. I'm not so much a world person, but this isn't quite the international mecca. We're pretty provincial around here. We'd rather have the Big 12 championship at Arrowhead in football.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be pretty cool. That would be great.
That's the local read, I'd say.
I would agree with that. Yeah, and that could be an annual thing, not a once in a lifetime thing with FIFA, right? They're not coming back in our lifetime. They would have to have it here in America first, and then Kansas City would have to be part of the conversation. So just know that, yes, they have started construction out at Arrowhead Stadium, but the big but is that the only reason it started, and it started about a month after it was supposed to start, is because, as I understand it, Mayor Lucas came to an agreement with the Chiefs as part of this KC 2026 executive board to basically give them the $10 million they insist they need for lost revenues, and in exchange, the mayor will get one extra seat on this KC 2026 board. What is his incentive for that? I'm not clear on that right now. I can ask him on Thursday. Do you think we'll get a straight answer on that? Probably not. That would be my guess.
Talk about a bombshell.
I know, it's going to shock you guys. We're not going to get a straight answer on that.
Over or under on the answer would be 14 seconds.
Over.
I would have set the over-under at about a minute 30,
Should've
but
gone higher.
I might have got a little higher. That's an easy over, John. That's easy. Even Mark knows to bet the over there. But that's where this whole thing stands right now. So it is messy. You've got a lot of big egos in that room, a lot of people who are, button heads right now, and basically they're just shifting money around. I mean, think about this, right? They're trying to raise money through the wealthy folks around Kansas City for this KC 2026 show for the World Cup next year. But then we now know the mayor has pledged $10 million of that to give the Clark Hunt and the Chiefs to refund them for lost revenues on concerts because of the World Cup. If you are worth any amount of money where you can write a check to KC 2026 and you now know that $10 million is just going into Clark Hunt, who's like one of the richest guys in Kansas City, worth tens of billions of dollars. I know he's mostly down in Texas, but you get the point. What are you giving money? Are you cutting a multi-million-dollar check for that? When it's just basically moving hands between the richest people around town? That's all it's doing. It's crazy.
Maybe a play to keep them here, too, long term?
There could be an element to that as well. I don't deny that. But, man.
You don't like to say no.
I know.
In and around these times.
I know. I get it. I get it. But here's what it comes down to, right? Who's got the most leverage right now? And that's the game that's being played. It's all a leverage game that's happening in Kansas City.